Okay, hi. So I am still reading Clytemnestra. I am 36% through this book. I am so pissed off. Okay, why? I mean, it had to happen, but it just pisses me off that the way that Clytemnestra's husband gets killed and her baby too. And it's not a spoiler because it's in the back cover, but it's just so annoying. But I'm so excited for what's to come. Okay. Also, my voice sounds weird because my throat hurts, sort of. And I think I caught what my daughter has. So she had like some stomach flu at first. And then she had like acid. And then, so she was vomiting. And then she was coughing. And at first I thought it was just, like her throat getting irritated from all the vomit and the acid coming up, right? But it turns out that she is coughing right now. I mean, not right now, because they're still sleeping. No school today because of the rain. Quick update, I'm sick. But my case came. It's like just a clear case. And I got a pop socket for it. Off-brand pop socket. And I just like how simple it looks. Yeah. Okay, so guess what? I was reading Clytemnestra on my Kindle. And I was like reading blah blah blah, and then I saw the name Electra, and I'm like, okay, let me just look at the dictionary definition of this. And the dictionary that's logged or downloaded onto my Kindle is very detailed. Okay, so it says Electra is the daughter of Clytemnestra and Agamemnon, and then proceeds to tell me a plot point that I feel is a spoiler, but also it's not the dictionary's fault because mythology is not really something that you not spoil. Yeah, but I think it's a very important plot point that it spoiled me about Electra. But so while reading the book, I'm also noticing something that I probably would have brushed off if I didn't know what Electra was going to do. By the way, I love this part. So she's talking with the merchants who are not listening to her because she is the queen and not the king. And so he's like, we don't take orders from a woman. Why? The strongest one rules, he says. And so Clytemnestra is like, okay, who's their leader then? Turns out to be the guy that she's talking to. And she's like, okay, the strongest one rules, you said. So let us discover who is stronger. And then she challenges him to a fight. And obviously he loses consciousness while being wrestled. And yeah, I love that she's a, girl boss, badass woman. Okay, number one, my comb is missing. The blue one that I just bought. So I'm going to be using this one, which is sad because this is fine tooth comb. Okay. Second of all, I am 60% through Clytemnestra. And this... Okay. Oh, where is it, darling? Give it to me, please. Mommy, it's on the faucet. You put it on the... Okay, so Clytemnestra, we get a fast forward in part 2 where it's like 15 years later. And she has children now with King Agamemnon. I think I've said that. No, I haven't. But and I just hate how these kings are making their queens do the work. Or especially Clytemnestra because she's the strong, level-headed one. And things are going on with her family, like they're all insane or not doing what they're supposed to be doing typically. Yeah, so far written very well, storytelling is really great, but at the moment it's missing an oomph for me. So right now it's sitting at a 4 stars. Okay, and we have met Paris as well, and he's very charming, and I don't even blame Helen for running away with him because I don't think she has been kidnapped. Yeah. No, why did I not expect that? Okay, I am, I don't know, 65% through or 70. Dude, why did I think that it was a baby? Why? Obviously, it couldn't have been the baby, because I was like wondering, where is the sacrifice part of that, right? And then this happens, and I'm taken off guard. Also, it's because I didn't remember this name coming up for this person to be married to a warrior. So when I read that one book, okay, I'm being super vague, but dang, Agamemnon is such a POS, man. He is a POS, dude. Odysseus, why? You are selfish. And now, were you tasked to do this? Was this your idea? Because if it's your idea, then I just hate you. I hate you right now, so watch. There is this part where Helen wrote a letter to her sister, but of course Clytemnestra can't read this, so we're just reading Helen's thoughts. And she's like, I have come to hate Paris. And she has literally no idea what's going on in the war. She doesn't know that Castor has died. She doesn't know that her niece has died in order to win the war, right? And this has all happened because she ran away with Paris. And now she's getting so pissed because Paris does not defend her from the gossip, and Paris just practices with his bow all day, and after that they make love, but it's not the same, she says. And it's just such a waste, okay? Very bleak that all this is happening because of you, and you have come to regret your decision to leave. You know, it would have been worth it if you still are madly in love with Paris, but obviously you are in a foreign land, and so you are an outcast, and sometimes love just isn't enough, I guess. Dude, the lighting here makes me look really bad. Second comment. I am very fearful, okay, because Electra is the only one who seems to be doing all the thinking, all the rationalizing. Like, she is trying to understand these people, their motives, and why they become, you know, she's like a psychologist in that way. But also knowing what happens in the story, you know, like when I got spoiled by the dictionary of what she's going to do. But also that thing doesn't make sense, because if she's smart, she wouldn't do this unless she is also in love with her mother's lover. I finally figured out what's bothering me about Clytemnestra, and it's this. Okay, she is comforting Aegisthus, saying like actual words of comfort, okay? And I'm kind of annoyed because she can't do the same for her daughters. There was this one part when Eileen, the sort of like babysitter, not babysitter, but she's like their primary, the children's primary caregiver, right? So Iphigenia is gone, but she still has other children. And specifically Electra and Chrysothemis, they still need their mom to be on top of things. But she's very cold to them. And that really throws me off because, I mean, I get it, you lost your daughter, but what about the others? Right? What about the others? Then she comes here. I guess that's why the romance between her and Aegisthus is not working for me, because I am not about to enjoy her having a love life. Sorry. I'm not about to enjoy her having a love life. And I feel like their relationship is sort of contrived. Like, her attraction to him is more of, he is unknown to her. He is not like the other. You know, she has a very low bar for a husband. Well, Tantalus doesn't really count because he was gone for most of the time, right? So she didn't really get to know him, as opposed to Agamemnon, who was a POS at the very start. But this guy, she sees him, I mean, I guess he's good. Relatively good. He sort of foils his cousin. Like, I can't enjoy the romance when I know that her other children are not getting... Well, I get it. She's a ruler of a kingdom. And I really... This is where I think about, you know, you really can't have it all. Or you can have it all, but not at the same time. You can be a brilliant mother, like, you know, actually taking care of your kid and giving them the emotional needs to be met, right? And also pursue a career yeah, that's my thoughts. Okay, so yeah, that's okay. So I just finished reading chapter 30, and I'm almost done with the book, as you can see. And Clytemnestra is starting to act tyrannical herself. Okay, and I say this because she had two of her elders, two of the people in the council, like she killed them, executed them in front of the people, and she did it herself. And she did this because they were being treasonous. I forgot the adjective. Because they committed treason. Yeah, so, and the treason is whispering about that Clytemnestra is unfit to be a ruler. Like, obviously, it's just rumors. And would I say it's conspiracy? I don't think so. But it's too over the top. Like, I think Clytemnestra just wanted to get rid of them because they specifically are trying to get her out of her position because they hate Aegisthus, the guy. Okay. And Clytemnestra sees through that, so she executes them through, you know, a different reason. Yeah, but I am starting to not like her. I mean, I feel so bad for her. But the thing that she's becoming. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only person who noticed that she's becoming a tyrant. Because even Leon, her guard, noticed that she's sort of killing people to get her way. Electra says, "Sometimes I think you wish I had died and Iphigenia had lived." So it's so obvious that Iphigenia is the favorite. Even if it's not apparent to her, but if Electra feels that way, it is still sort of Clytemnestra's fault. Clytemnestra says, "Sometimes I fear that I am becoming the person I'm pretending to be." She is pretending to be a tyrant, everyone. She is faking it until she is actually making it. And I just remembered because when Yenya was really sick, she was coughing, right? And she was really feeling bad. I told her, pretend you're not sick. And then she was putting on this face, like smiling and all that. And it made the sickness or the symptoms more bearable when she was pretending that she wasn't sick. Yeah. Hey, no fighting. I went outside so I can read in peace. They were playing the room, but then they followed me out. Okay, I think they're having a sibling quarrel because Yanya's like, "I'm leaving. Bye, Gaga." But he's like, "Bye, Yanyan."
Mom, I break.
You break it, babe? Aww.
Be sad.
What?
Be sad.
You're sad?
Look, see?
Tomorrow you wanna get a... Wow.
1, 2, 3.
Tomorrow you want to get a haircut? Hmm?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, news from Sparta. Polydeuces said that their niece Hermione and Clytemnestra's son Orestes, so these are cousins. Okay, they are to be betrothed to each other. And Clytemnestra is like, okay, if Orestes marries her, he will become king after Menelaus, Helen's husband. And then Polydeuces said he has no interest in the throne. And I'm like, oh, has she always been this into politics? What's gonna happen to Helen? Okay, King Menelaus said, Helen is still in the city, but I swear that I will kill her once Troy falls. So all these, almost like a decade, I believe it's like 10 years of fighting to retrieve Helen. And then when they get her back, he's just gonna kill her. I mean, okay, I get it. I get the frustration, but it's just so funny the things that these people do when their pride is hurt. Orestes attacked Aegisthus. Okay, so they went on this full-blown fight. And Clytemnestra saw, and she stopped them. And Aegisthus is like, you have to send Orestes away, okay? Because he is turning the people, everyone, against me, as if they weren't already mad at him or, you know, treat him as a traitor. And Agamemnon is about to come home. And Clytemnestra is just... she is having a hard time, and in her own words, like, she weaved this web that is too complicated that even she is getting caught up in it. So, see, you must send him away or it will be the end for me when Agamemnon comes. I won't. So you would choose him instead of me? He is my son.
There's no choice to be made. Like, obviously, it's her son. What do you expect, Agisthus? Oh, wait. What happens if Orisa stays here and when your husband comes home? What happens when you put a blade in his heart? A son must avenge his father. It is the law. And actually, that's a pretty good point. And I guess I see now how she's gonna get killed. Okay, here's a problem. Would Orisis really side with a father who had murdered his sister like an animal bred for slaughter? Would he gather an army against his own mother? I guess this is what Clytemnestra is like kind of thinking. Like, would the law of the son avenging the father be broken by her son based on, being the cruel father that Agamemnon is? Like, he's not really worthy to be avenged. But I guess the laws are stronger than that. Okay, turns out Clytemnestra did the deed by herself. And Electra, okay, I think I understand her. Her father has committed a horrible crime, it is true. But as much as she wills herself to hate him, she can't. Maybe it is because she has always been his favorite. So that's why. She's a daddy's girl. She once asked herself, what does it mean to be queen? Now she knows it is daring to do what others won't. Okay, I finished Clytemnestra, and I'm giving this 4 to 4.5 stars. And I think it's because of the ending. Okay, I can't really think of any... if I could be nitpicky, there are some things here that... well, more on the character of Clytemnestra and me wanting her to be a great mother. But first and foremost, she's a queen, so I can't fault her for that. But also the ending. There is something with the ending that feels too abrupt for me. A lot of converging storylines and explanations of what happened and how we don't really know what happens to her. And this story is spanning her, like, from her childhood to when she's like really grown. And there are significant time jumps here where I find myself like not naturally adjusting to the timeline. Like, for example, I keep on forgetting that her children aren't like 12 and 6 years old anymore. I remember that they're much older than that when I get reminded. But because, because in the previous part they were super young, and then it wasn't smoothly transitioned into the next part, and so when they're older I still have this picture of them being young. Not sure if that makes sense. But anyway, good retelling of this story. Like, I didn't even know her, and that there's commentary about men and heroes, how they are painted in such beautiful light, but actually when you read the violence and the chaos that they do, like even the good heroes, even the heroes, not just the villains, and then you hear nothing about the women. Yeah, so really like this read. It fed my Greek myth mood. Yeah, so I hope in my next video I will be talking normally and not sick anymore. But yeah, thank you, Joel, for this book. Okay, bye!